Nachmon, sefer hamidos, the book of traits, the book of attributes, the alphabet book, sefer alphabet, sefer hamidos, yeshoros. Hamidos yeshoros, straight customs. Straight ways to lead oneself. Ois hey, letter hey in the sefer. The sweetening of judgments. The sweetening of judgments. Dinim, literally, this means judgments, and it refers to when things are going wrong or to any hardship or difficulty. Din is singular, din plural. That's the adding of the translator. 1. At the time when suffering is sent upon a person, it is sworn not to commence, literally go, or embark, except on a specific day, and not to desist, literally leave, except on a specific day, and a specific hour, and through a specific medication. However, repentance, prayer, and charity annul the oath. 2. Being disheartened, literally weakness of the mind, that is to say, depression, draws bad fortune, and when one's fortune is bad, the attribute of hard judgment dominates. 3. The scriptural verses about the choshen, breastplate worn by the high priest, is a tikkun, rectification or remedy for dinim. 4. When a person has pain, he should give charity, for the charity is like he's paying for the judgment, and through this the dinim, in brackets defined at the beginning of this entry and end of brackets, are lightened, literally sweetened, because someone who takes payment to judge, his rulings are void. 5. What is the extent of suffering? What is the extent of suffering? What is the extent of suffering? 6. Anyone who has gone 40 days without suffering, he has received his world, and disasters are prepared for him. 7. One who chastises his fellow for the sake of heaven, a thread of kindness is extended upon him. 8. 3 things call attention to one's sins: a leaning wall, prayer with concentration, in brackets, with anticipation and examination to see its fulfillment, end of brackets, and one who brings prosecution on his friend. 9. 4 things tear up the, in brackets, bad, end of brackets, edict on a man: charity, crying out, changing one's name, and changing one's deeds. 10. Crying out helps an individual, specifically before the edict. A, in brackets, heavenly, end of brackets, decree that is accompanied by an oath, even for a group, cannot be torn. 12. Through fasting in years of famine, one is saved from a grotesque death. 13. When some decree is decreed on a person, it is decreed on him specifically for a certain place. Through this, he can save with the change of place. Through this, he can save, in brackets, himself, end of brackets, with the change of place. 14. One who has pain in his eyes or stomach pains, it is certain that dinim rest upon him. 15. One should make his suffering known to the public, and the public will ask for mercy on his behalf, and the public will ask, in brackets, in prayer, end of brackets, for mercy on his behalf. 16. When there is some din, judgment, or contention on the Jewish people, God forbid, the Holy One, blessed be He, notifies the tzaddikim, so that they should pray for Yisrael, and whomever does not pray for them, the Holy One, blessed be He, is angry with them. 17. When a man sees that dinim are weighing on him, he should talk about his enemies and justify them. 18. Through the appointing of kosher judge, hardships are annulled. Through the appointing of kosher judges, hardships are annulled. 19. One who made a vow and did not fulfill his vow, the Holy One, blessed He, brings suffering upon him. When he is silent, it is considered as if he has fulfilled his vow. When he is silent, in brackets, in response, end of brackets, it is considered as if he has fulfilled his vow. 20. One who accepts suffering with love, it is considered as if he offered a sacrifice. 21. When a man is walking and falls, it is a sign that he was met out from above for a failure. In brackets, he had coming to him. He had it coming to him. 22. Through immersing in a mikveh, suffering is annulled and salvation comes. 23. When some harsh decree is passed on a man, before people know about it, it is easily overturned. 24. One who falls from his faith should know that he's being judged from above. 25. One who has dinim upon him should look frequently, literally every time, upon the heavens. 26. One who shows the good path to evildoers, the Holy One Blessed, he justifies him in judgment. 27. Through truth, the Holy One Blessed, he does with him kindness that is not dressed in din, brackets judgment. 28. That which the Holy One Blessed, he hides his countenance from you, it is because of the blasphemy that is within you. Kfiros, denials. 29. Through trust, in brackets, in God, and in brackets, the judgment is sweetened, and kindness is drawn forth. Nachmo miyuman. Nachmo miyuman. 30. Nachmo miyuman. Nachmo miyuman. Nachmo miyuman, nachmo miyuman. 30. Through faith, you can direct the blessed God to do your will. 31. Through charity, one transforms judgment and din to the attribute of kindness. 32. Someone who does not have faith, it is certain that the Holy One Blessed, he has removed his kindness from him. 33. When harsh decrees prevail, and kindness is rare, literally precious, and not found, know that crying is helpful for this. I heard from his holy mouth at the time when I transcribed this before him that a hint for this is in the verse, how precious is your kindness, God, explaining as follows: when kindness is rare, brackets precious, and unavailable, that is, dinim prevail, God forbid. And the action to be taken for this, and brackets, a continuation of the verse, end of brackets, and people in the shadow of your wings take refuge. The initials of the last three words, Ivnei Adam, Bitseil, Kinafecho, Yechsoyin, Bitseil, Kinafecho, Yechsoyin, spell out crying, because crying helps for this, as previously stated. 34. Through cognizance, kindness is drawn forth. 35. Through giving charity to an upright man, you will merit to draw kindness also to your friends. 36. Someone who does not accept rebuke, suffering comes upon him. 37. To sweeten dinim, recite Tehillim Psalms chapter 39, Lamnatzech al Yedusin, which is the starting words. 38. Someone who strengthens himself before prayer and prepares himself thoroughly, literally, greatly, even if afterwards he does not pray appropriately, through this suffering separates from him. 39. To sweeten dinim, say mishnayos of zroim, say in brackets, learn, end of brackets, mishnayos of zroim. 40. Sometimes 40. Nachmo miyuman. 40. Sometimes the Holy One Blessed, he expends all the suffering on the Father, so that his Son will have peace. 41. Through a vow, the fury of the Blessed God is forestalled. Through, in brackets, making, end of brackets, a vow, the fury of the Blessed God is forestalled. 42. To sweeten dinim, say Tehillim, Psalms, chapter 77. 43. Someone who attaches himself at night to the quality of faith, the din, brackets, judgment, and brackets upon him, is sweetened. 44. Through arrogance, kindness departs, rising above to the heaven, brackets to the heaven. Through arrogance, kindness departs, rising above. Through arrogance, kindness departs, rising above, in brackets to the heaven. 45. Through saying Tikkun Chatzois, midnight rectification, which is a special regiment of prayers said at midnight, end of brackets, the judgment is sweetened. 46. When you stay awake the whole night, by this you are saved from dinim. 47. Through troubles that come upon a man, he can grasp and understand his sins. 48. Through that which one comes to the tzaddik, the coming in its own right can sweeten the dinim. 49. Also, the money that is given to the tzaddik, the giving itself sweetens the din, in brackets judgment. 50. Due to depression, thoughts are aligned in heaven for his detriment. 51. Through learning the Torah, accusers will retreat. 52. When one who goes and falls occasionally, Occasionally, he had been decreed to die, and now it is annulled through the falling. When one goes and falls, occasionally he had been decreed to die, and now it is annulled through the falling. Or, when one goes and falls occasionally, he had been decreed to die, and now it is annulled through the falling. I think it simply read, when one goes and falls, occasionally he had been decreed to die, and now it is annulled through the falling. 53. For the evil decrees that the nations decree on Israel, they should say Tehillim Psalms chapter 62. 54. Through staying in a mikveh under the water until one can no longer hold his breath, the din is sweetened. 55. Sometimes wine arouses din, brackets judgment. 56. One who gives his bread to someone lacking cognizance, suffering comes upon him. 57. Someone without cognizance eventually is exiled. 58. A judgment that was forestalled overnight, the judgment is annulled. 59. One who learns Torah for the sake of heaven sets peace in the upper tribunal and in the lower tribunal. 60. One who reads a scriptural verse in its time brings good to the world. 61. There are times and places destined for good, and the opposite is also true. 62. Sometimes a decree is forestalled by the leader of the generation, and sometimes by the people of the generation. 63. Through one's enemies, one can know the decree of above. 64. When a man tells his suffering to a friend, the listener must act wisely at the time of hearing, so that the same suffering will not come upon him. 65. One who studies Torah in the night, the Holy One, blessed He, draws upon him a thread of kindness in the day. 66. One must give money for a pidyon, literally redemption. Brackets, money is given to a tzaddik who redeems the contributor from any judgments. One must give money for a pidyon. 67. As long as you can be saved through money, do not use prayers. 68. When there is a disagreement above on some matter, they rely, literally support themselves on the tzaddik in this world, on the brackets opinion of, and the brackets the tzaddik in this world. 69. In the moment when a person is being judged above, they judge his name. Sometimes the messengers switch it with another name, and through this the decree of death or hardship comes on someone else. 70. Someone who does not pray, brackets literally ask, and the brackets for mercy for his generation, through this he is punished. 71. Someone who has a sick person or pain in his house should go to a Torah sage that he should pray, literally ask for mercy on his behalf, or that he should bless him, or that he, in brackets the Torah sage, should bless him. 72. When it is heard that someone is making accusations on the Jewish people, those who hear should speak aloud of the merits of Israel, in brackets show a meritorious interpretation of the actions, meritorious interpretation of the actions that brought on the accusation, end of brackets, and it is necessary to strive to find merit. 73. When the Holy One, blessed He, sees that people are zealous for His honor, through this he retracts his anger. 74. The primary pidyon, redemption, or prayer is only in the day. 75. Not everyone is fitting to make a pidyon. 76. One who wants to sweeten dinim should not drink any wine the whole day. 77. With humility one can find favor with the Holy One, blessed He. 78. When there is a din, judgment, when there is a din, brackets judgment, and brackets pray with fervor. 79. Building a stone house entails danger of death. 80. Charity sweetens harsh judgment. 81. The mikveh sweetens harsh judgment. The brackets immersing in a, end of brackets, mikveh sweetens harsh judgment. 82. After a decree has been passed, one needs to enclothe the prayer within stories. In brackets, explained in L'Kitaran, Torah 5. 83. Through the opening of a Torah scroll, judgment is sweetened, and it is settled in its place. 84. Through silence, the judgment is sweetened. 85. Fasting and sackcloth are conducive to annul an edict. 86. To sweeten the judgment, say the Torah portion concerning the 11 goatskin curtains, in brackets, that served as roof for the tabernacles, end of brackets, and the ketores, incense, the 11 blessings that Moshe gave to the tribes, and the chariot of Yechezkel. 87. And the portion about vows, and the Mishnayos of the tractate of Shavuos. 88. Through submission, a decree is annulled. Through submission, in brackets before God, and in brackets, a decree is annulled. 89. Through the song of songs, decrees are annulled. 90. One who is able to engage in Torah and does not, suffering comes upon him. 91. The tractate Ahalois, tense, dealing with the parameters of impurity, is conducive to annulling decrees. 92. One who raises a dog One who raises a dog arouses din, brackets judgment. 93. Sometimes the Holy One, blessed be He, pushes a wicked person down into some hardship in order that he go to the tzaddik and ask that he, in brackets the tzaddik and in brackets, pray on his behalf. 94. Sweetening the dinim is through casting lots, as with in brackets the goat sent to, and in brackets to Azazel. On Yom Kippur, in brackets on Yom Kippur, end of brackets. The explanation of this matter I heard from his Rabbi Nachman's holy mouth at the time when I wrote this before him, that one should take 2 coins and cast upon them lots, 1 lot to God and 1 lot to Azazel. The coin that on it came up the lot to God should be given to charity, and the second one that on it came up to Azazel should be thrown away, in brackets destroyed, end of brackets, and through this the judgment is sweetened. 95. Sometimes when the tzaddik of the generation, with his anger, that he is angry at you, he sweetens judgments. 96. When a new king arises among the nations, or a new minister, then the din, brackets judgment, and brackets, is aroused. 97. Through being stiff-necked against repentance, one brings on himself a great breakdown which has no healing. 98. It is not good for 2 people with the same name to dwell in the same house, literally in one home. Nachman miyuman. 99. Through depression, one arouses harsh judgment. 100. Through abashment, the din, brackets judgment, and brackets, is sweetened. 101. One should make known his suffering to the public. 102. When authority is given to a destructive angel, he doesn't differentiate between the righteous and the evil. Furthermore, he even starts with the righteous. 103. A change of place tears up an edict. 104. Through having mercy, one sweetens the din, bracket judgment. 105. Sometimes a man dies from fear or some other sudden death. Believe that this was his appointed time. 106. Through a lowly bearing, one can annul a harsh decree. 107. Through attending to tzaddikim, the judgment is sweetened. 108. In the merit of visiting the sick, one will not have a painful death. 109. When the measure of din of above reaches a man, even if it has not begun to prevail over him, one can sense the measure of din through the flies that are in the house. When the measure, brackets attribute of din, brackets judgment of above reaches a man, even if it has not begun to prevail over him, one can sense the measure attribute of din through the flies that are in the house. Second part on Takis din, sweetening of judgments. 1. One who works to sweeten judgments, through this it will be easy for him to sanctify God's name without prevention. Also, his eyes will not become dim. 2. Through suffering, crowns are made. 3. One who accepts suffering in order to lessen the suffering of the Jewish people, through this he will merit divine inspiration. 4. The portions on the festivals written in the Torah portion of Pinchas are conducive as skula through reading them to annul dinim, and they are conducive to triumph under the Gentile legislation. 5. Through charity, one sweetens the judgments of the time to come, that is, of the day of judgment in the time to come. 6. One who knows, when he sees a din, judgment on Israel, to flip the din onto another nation, in the aspect of, and I will put a man in your place. Through this, all the creations return their power and become included in him, in this man, in order to renew their power. Also, through this, the gate of various parables is opened in the world. 7. Those benefactors of kindness who do kindness and sometimes cause, through the kindness they do, something bad, and they pretend they do not see the bad which resulted from their kindness. This is the aspect of the warning given to the Kohanim priests, who are the aspect of kindness, not to take large steps. In brackets, end of the portion of Yisra and Shmois, end of brackets. Through this, they cause the judgment above to be without deliberation. Also the opposite, when they take particular care in their kindness that evil should not result from it. Through this, the judgment above is with deliberation. 8. One who rebels literally kicks against suffering is as if he says to God, lead me. 9. When a man learns until he is exhausted, through this he sweetens judgments and arouses mercy. Also through this he arouses mercy for, literally by his Father in the grave. 10. Appeasement of the measure of judgment is not with empty hands. Appeasement of the measure, in brackets attribute, and in brackets of judgment is not, in brackets cannot be accomplished, and in brackets with empty hands. 11. One who is bitten by a dog, it is certain that God's mercy has been withdrawn from him. Also, it is certain that he has transgressed with forbidden foods. Also, it is certain that he has transgressed with brackets eating and of brackets forbidden foods. 12. Sometimes a man is hidden from the measure of judgment. With this, that the tzaddik exalts and glorifies himself over the man and casts him down. Sometimes a man is hidden from the measure, brackets attribute, and of brackets of judgment. With this, that the tzaddik exalts and glorifies himself over the man and casts him down. Chapter Hisbodedus, seclusion. In brackets seclusion, often inferring to be alone, often inferring to be alone in communion with the Lord. 1. One who isolates himself and separates himself from others, they attend to him from above. They attend to him, in brackets, to redress him for his sins. One who isolates himself and separates himself from others, they attend to him, in brackets, to redress him for his sins, and of brackets from above. 2. Through isolating oneself and setting one's heart wantonly, one comes to anger. Second part. 1. The conversation that one conducts between him and his Creator. The conversation that one conducts, in brackets privately and of brackets between him and his Creator. This conversation is made afterwards into a redemption and salvation for his children. Chapter Hirhurim, thoughts. 1. Through humility one is saved from thoughts of idol worship. 2. When you are praying and thoughts of idol worship befall you, concentrate on the name Elikeni, in brackets our God. This should not be pronounced. 3. Good thoughts come through confession that is confessed before a Torah scholar. 4. Someone who tells stories that happened to righteous men, through this good thoughts are drawn to him. 5. Someone who has bad thoughts should judge everyone favorably always. 6. Through tears, all lusts become despicable. 7. Someone who does not believe in the tzaddik, as a result, his heart is not right with Hashem, may he be blessed. 8. The belt that the tzaddik was girded with, when you gird yourself with it, it is conducive, a skula, to nullify evil thoughts. 9. Through falsehood, the holy covenant, brackets circumcision and brackets, becomes desecrated. 10. Someone who sanctifies himself and pride arises in his mind, when he breaks the pride, he attains and acquires the Torah. 11. Crying out nullifies ulterior motives. 12. Crying out, screaming out, tzaka. Crying out nullifies ulterior motives. 12. Learning the 4 sections of the Shulchan Aruch, Code of Jewish Law, nullifies ulterior motives. 13. Thinking about some Torah, brackets, thought, and of brackets, that you innovated, is conducive to nullifying alien thoughts. Thinking about some Torah that you innovated is conducive to nullifying alien thoughts. Thinking about some Torah thought that you innovated is conducive to nullifying alien thoughts. 14. Someone who has bad thoughts should speak disgraceful words to himself. Someone who has bad thoughts should speak disgraceful words to himself. 15. Eating and drinking disturb the thought process. 16. Through anger comes thoughts of idol worship. 17. When one disparages the festival holy joys, the festival holy days, he comes to having thoughts of idol worship. When one disparages the festival holy days, he comes to, in brackets, having, and of brackets, thoughts of idol worship. 18. One who sits among lewd people, or in a place where there was lewdness, through this he comes to evil thoughts. 19. The evil inclination only craves something forbidden to him. 20. Lusts. The loving kindness of Hashem, may he be blessed, is clothed in them. Lusts. The loving kindness of Hashem, may He be blessed, is clothed in them. 21. Through pardoning of sins, you merit a clean heart. 22. Through compassion, lusts will be nullified from you. 23. Through the eyes, the heart craves. 24. Through the lusts of the heart, it is impossible that something will not cling to you. It is impossible that something, in brackets, impure, will not, end of brackets, will not cling to you. 25. Regarding thoughts of promiscuity, it is conducive to drink a laxative. 26. Prayer with heartfelt concentration opens all the supernal doors. 27. Someone who has thoughts of idol worship should not carry with him any gold. 28. Through drunkenness, thoughts of idolatry come. 29. Through love for women, honor is taken away from you. Also, your wife does not grasp the seed and miscarries, and at the time of birth, the child dies. 30. Through strife comes thoughts of idol worship also. A house in which there is strife will be a house of idol worship. 31. When foreign thoughts come to a person, he should raise his voice as if he were crying, and through this the foreign thoughts will depart from him. 32. Through oaths and curses come bad thoughts. 33. Through having trust, in brackets, in God, and in brackets, evil thoughts will not come to you. 34. Grinding the teeth is conducive, segula, to nullifying evil thoughts. 35. According to the place in the prayer, so do the holy sparks clothe themselves in distractions and come to a person in order to be rectified. 36. Tractate Yedoim, brackets, learning, into brackets, tractate Yedoim, hands, is conducive, segula, to nullifying bad thoughts. 37. Someone whose prayer is only for the sake of the divine presence will not have foreign thoughts come to him. 38. Through peace, his name, may he be blessed, is elevated. 39. When a man or woman thinks at the time of marital relations about some non-Jewish man or woman, and the thought is with love for that non-Jewish man or woman, then the child who is born from these relations will abandon the Jewish faith. 40. The ritual fringes, tzitzis, are a fence, brackets, safeguard, end of brackets, for lewdness. The ritual fringes are a fence for lewdness. 41. Through visiting the sick, one is saved from the evil inclination. 42. The evil inclination does not rule except on what his eyes see. 43. 20 years old and has not married a woman, all of his days he will have thoughts of sin. Brackets, someone who reaches, end of brackets, 20 years old and has not married a woman, all of his days he will have thoughts of sin. 44. Someone who commits a sin and afterwards thinks about doing more, even though he doesn't do it, is punished for the thought. 45. To push away the evil inclination, say, the merciful one berates the Satan. Rachmana nigar bei basatan. The merciful one berates the Satan. Rachmana nigar bei basatan. 46. The coveting and evil thoughts which arise in the heart suddenly, which are not in a person's power to prevent, one is not punished for them, unless one repeatedly thinks about them. 47. For most bad character traits, it is good to bloodlet. 48. Through eating fish, lust is increased. 49. Someone who eats through the merit of his forefathers, thoughts of idol worship befall him. 50. Through homosexuality comes thoughts of idol worship. 51. One who thinks of a kutis woman comes to thoughts of idol worship. One who thinks, in brackets, desires, end of brackets, of a kutis, brackets, non-Jewish, end of brackets, woman comes to thoughts of idol worship. 52. One who looks at nakedness, erva, his hardness becomes aroused. 53. One who belittles the festival holy days, it is as if he worships idols. 54. Someone who has faith, the Holy One, blessed be He, protects him from coming into the grip of thoughts, protects him from coming into the grip of, in brackets, bad, end of brackets, thoughts, and he proceeds to that world without sin, and he proceeds to that world, in brackets, to come, end of brackets, without sin, and the Holy One, blessed be He, helps him. 55. At the time that they are involved in Torah and acts of kindness, their urge is placed under their control. Their, in brackets, evil, and in brackets, urge, is placed under their control. 56. Someone who has enjoyment from something heretical, he will eventually be compelled to idol worship. 57. When someone holds himself back from sins and seeks atonement, This causes that he will not even sin in thought. 58. Someone who has relations with the kutis, in brackets, non-Jewish, end of brackets, woman, draws down filth unto himself. Afterwards, when he has relations with his wife and bears a child, the child will be an apostate. 59. A sash is a remedy for bad thoughts. Avnate, belt. A sash is a remedy for thoughts, for, in brackets, bad, end of brackets, thoughts. 60. Someone who has thoughts of women, the way to nullify them is by not deceiving people. 61. Also through charity. Second part of thoughts, hirhirim. 1. Nachmo miyuman. Nachmo miyuman. When thoughts of idol worship come to a person, and he nullifies them by thinking of his faith in brackets, God, end of brackets, then his thoughts become an aspect of dew, of blessing. Also, through this, his mind has fortitude and does not ever become confused. Even when the mind becomes tired from pondering some deep concept, then the Holy One, blessed be He, arranges for him thoughts which relax his mind. 2. Someone who guards himself from thoughts of idol worship merits to have constant faith, in brackets, confidence in God, end of brackets, to the extent that he does not worry what he will eat tomorrow, and he is on the level of blessed is Hashem day after day. Through this, the Holy One, blessed be He, perceives no wrongdoing and sees no iniquity in him, and anyone who touches him, it is as if he touched the pupil of his eye. 3. Regarding thoughts of idol worship, one should rouse in one's mind, and one should accept upon himself to get involved in acts of kindness, and through this he will desist from thoughts of idol worship. 4. Through thoughts of idol worship, one's breath becomes shortened, and he derives no pleasure from good news. 5. When thoughts of idol worship come to a person, he should know that they are judging him above. 6. Studying codifiers of Torah law, the poiskim, nullifies thoughts of idol worship. 7. Through the establishment of unqualified judges comes thoughts of idol worship. 8. When thoughts of idol worship come to a person, he should know that he will come to some illness or some accusation from a governing official. 9. Through thoughts of idol worship, one will ultimately need to make use of holy names. 10. Through tithing, thoughts of promiscuity are nullified. 11. Sometimes it will arise in a person's thought that he will think about some illness. This is caused by Hashem, may he be blessed, in order that he should remind himself to fix the evil thought which is the cause of that illness. 12. Thoughts of idol worship, thoughts of immorality, bloodshed, and evil speech come to someone. Thoughts of idol worship, thoughts of immorality, bloodshed, and evil speech come to someone. Simply speaking, thoughts of idol worship, thoughts of immorality, and here's nothing saying what thoughts, just bloodshed, simply. That's how I understand it. Or thoughts of bloodshed, but simply just bloodshed itself. Bloodshed and evil speech come to someone who is accustomed to making vows, but they become nullified by the leader of the city, who arranges the fines and taxes upon each person according to the amount that each one can handle. 13. When a person goes out to the market and is fearful lest he come to evil thoughts from what he sees, that he might see attractive women, he should recite the verse, "Behold, their brave ones cried out." Behold, their brave ones, in brackets angels, end of brackets, cried out, in brackets angel of peace cried bitterly. Angel of peace cried bitterly, end of brackets. Through this, he will be saved from seeing. 14. Someone who has thoughts of idol worship should know that the hand of the nations of the world will rain upon him. 15. In a city that has fairs and big market days, there are many thoughts of idol worship. A segula, auspicious for protection for this, is to toil in Torah on market days, and thoughts of idol worship will not come to him. 16. When one nullifies thoughts of idol worship, through this, all of his sins are forgiven. 17. Gazing to the east nullifies promiscuous thoughts. 18. Crying nullifies promiscuous thoughts. 19. The nullification of thoughts of idol worship comes through enthusiasm. Comes through, in brackets, holy, end of brackets, enthusiasm. 20. Through deception, one comes to thoughts of promiscuity with a non-Jewish woman. 21. One who has thoughts of having relations with a Gentile girl, it is certain that he will experience some downfall, or his wife and children will get sick. 22. Through thoughts of idol worship, enemies come and become elevated over a person. 23. To nullify promiscuous thoughts, one should imagine the image of his father. Good advice regarding evil thoughts is to get mad about something. This is alluded to in the verse, rage and do not sin. In brackets, I heard from our master of blessed memory that the intent is to rage and get angry at oneself. This is hinted at in the words of our rabbis of blessed memory. A person should always enrage his good inclination over his evil inclination. As it is written, rage, that is, to rage and get angry, that is to rage and get angry at oneself, but not to, God forbid, actually get angry, because the sin of anger is extremely grave, as is known, end of brackets. It is also a segula to uproot from one's place and go to another place. It is also good to jump from one's place. Chapter Hisnasis, Superiority. 1. One who instills inordinate dread upon the public, not for the sake of heaven, does not see a son as a Torah scholar. 2. One who begins a matter of a mitzvah and does not finish it, he is brought down from his greatness. 3. When the Holy One, blessed is he, takes retribution upon the enemies of Israel. Translators note this is a euphemism for Israel, end of brackets. He appoints for them directors whom are not good. When the Holy One, blessed be he, takes retribution upon the enemies of Israel, he appoints for them directors whom are not good. 4. The son of a righteous man is raised when he does not go in a straight path, in order that he should go in a straight path. The son of a righteous man is raised when he does not go in a straight path, in order that he should go in a straight path. 5. Through charity one rises. Through brackets giving, end of brackets charity, one rises. 6. A man does not rise to greatness unless he is forgiven for all his sins. 7. When raises an important man, they do not bring him down. When, in brackets heaven, end of brackets, raises an important man, they do not bring him down. 8. Through wisdom, humility, and being social, one's words are fulfilled above. 9. When brackets heaven, end of brackets, wants to raise a righteous man and publicize him, brackets heaven, end of brackets, sends discord between the evil people. 10. When someone humiliates you and you accept it happily, through this you will merit respect and promotion with joy. 11. One who does not accept rebuke, through this he does not grow, in brackets, become great. 12. Superiority comes to one who constantly reviews his learning. 13. Superiority comes through rebuke. 14. One whom Hashem, his God, is with him, he will have an ascent. 15. Through a change of name comes a change in fortune. 16. Through the traveling one does from village to village and from city to city, his words are not heard, in brackets, accepted. 17. One who judges Israel favorably merits to a great ascent. 18. One who has superiority and fears lest he need die because his friend's time has come to receive this superiority, he should flee from this superiority, or he should employ a scheme that his friend should flee from this city. 19. When people come to one and say to him, "Teach us the way of God," it is certain that he will have superiority. 20. A man does not become famous unless the Holy One, blessed is he, appears upon him from above. 21. Superiority comes through having trust in time of trouble. Superiority comes through having trust, in brackets, in God, end of brackets, in time of trouble. 22. Someone with intelligence will certainly ascend quickly. Someone with intelligence will certainly ascend, brackets, to greatness, end of brackets, quickly. 23. When the tzaddik is raised to great height, everyone is in wonderment over him. 24. One who hates theft rises to greatness. 25. Through wisdom or success, one becomes famous. 26. A man to whom the nations of the world give him gifts, should know that his superiority has been prepared by the blessed God. Should know that his superiority has been prepared, in brackets, correct, established, by the blessed, end of brackets, by the blessed God. 27. Through saying Tehillim Psalms, one is elevated on high. 28. When a man attains superiority, it is if he was newborn. It is if he was newborn. 29. Due to mentioning names of idolatry, one does not rise, brackets, gain superiority, and end of brackets. 30. Through learning Agada, non-legal lore of the Talmud and Medrash, at night, one rises. 31. Eminence Eminence comes about through hating falsehood. 32. Through loving the righteous, brackets, the tzaddikim, end of brackets, one rises. 33. Through serving God with cognizance, and not by rote, one will certainly rise. 34. Superiority comes through spoken words, brackets, statements, insights, maxims, or the like. 35. Also through submission, brackets, before God. 36. Through sanctifying the name of God, one is raised high. 37. Superiority comes through having mercy. 38. Through faith, one rules over the arrogant. 39. One who appoints a judge who is not worthy will in the end be judged by Gentile judges. Will in the end be judged by, literally fall into the hand of, Gentile judges. 40. Through giving rebuke for the sake of heaven, one merits to superiority. 41. Through building a house in the land of Israel, one merits to superiority. 42. Through giving respect to the Torah, one merits to superiority. 43. Not always can a man rule his presidency. For sometimes there comes a time which this time has vitality only from a different president. Not always can a man rule his presidency, for sometimes there comes a time which this time has vitality only from a different president. 44. Someone whom the Holy One, blessed is He, has elevated, accord him respect and go to him. Accord him respect and go to, in brackets, be by, end brackets, him. 45. The ascent of a man is a goodness of the hour. The ascent of a man is a goodness of the hour. Second part, chelik sheni, of superiority, hisnasis. 1. One who infringes his friend's territory, his greatness is diminished. One who infringes his friend's territory, his greatness is diminished. 2. The Holy One, blessed is He, does not give greatness to a man until He tests him with something small. 3. Through confusion of the mind, fear is ruined. Fear in brackets of God, and of brackets, is ruined. Also, through confusion of the mind, one's dominion falls. 4. Through zeal, one merits to be a faithful leader, literally shepherd. A hint for this is in the passage, go to the ant, lazy one. Nimola. The word ant is nimola. And it is also written, from there the shepherd of the stone, from there the shepherd of the stone of Israel. Misham, ro'eh, even Yisrael, sefer teves, the end letters of the word in this passage spell ant, nimola. Go to nimola, also the lazy one. Misham, ro'eh, even Yisrael. 5. When one bribes an official to be appointed to a position, that someone else should be removed and he should be appointed. When one bribes an official to be appointed to a position, that someone else should be removed and he should be appointed, this is like witchcraft. 6. Thoughts of idolatry and promiscuous thoughts and spilling blood and slander come upon one who is accustomed to swearing oaths. However, they are annulled through the city's leader, who sets the collections and taxes on each person according to his worth that he can bear. 7. When an evil person becomes great, it is difficult to bring out a new explanation in the rulings of the authorities of the halacha, Jewish law. Also, the words of judges are not heard by the litigants. Also, the words of judges are not heard, brackets, accepted, sensible, and brackets, by the litigants. 8. A kosher man must humble himself when he sees the sovereignty of an evildoer. 9. One who appropriates a position of authority for himself. Through this, his daughter becomes a prostitute. 10. One who leaves the needs of the community and engages in his own needs is as if he takes bribery. One who leaves the needs of the community and engages in his own needs is as if he takes bribery. 11. Through confession, one merits to superiority. 12. Through the sanctity of the blessed God's name, the rule of the leaders of the generation has full power and might, and through this, the mitzvah of hospitality is highly regarded in everyone's eyes, and through this, those that study the Torah merit that the halacha, final legal ruling on a matter of the Torah, is like them. Chapter Success, Hatzlacha. Success. 1. Anyone who gives his tithes properly does not lose anything. Brackets to the tithing. 2. Join a successful person and you will be successful. 3. Blessing abounds only on something that it is hidden from sight. Blessing abounds only on something that it is hidden from sight. 4. Success. Assistance from heaven brings it. Success. Assistance from heaven brings it. In brackets, it is. 5. Someone whose success has ceased and is not successful will not come to success quickly. 6. Immediately after Torah scholars, there is blessing in the work of their hands. Immediately after Torah scholars, there is blessing in the work of their hands. Immediately after Torah scholars, there is blessing in the work of their hands. 7. Engagement in Torah is a skula for success. 8. Someone who does not leave over bread on his table never sees the sign of blessing. 9. Since he only mentioned the one good side and not the reverse, this is not considered divining, nichush, divining. 10. A house, child, and wife are omens for success. A house, child, and wife are omens for success. 11. Someone who divorces his wife will not be successful. 12. Someone whom the hour is fortunate for him, his heart is exalted. Also the fear of him is cast on everyone, literally all creatures. 13. Someone who does not speak unnecessary words is successful in everything he does. 14. Someone who always speaks the truth, he is successful. 15. Through confession, you will be successful. 16. Success comes to one who feeds a Torah scholar on his table. 17. When you do not have the truth, success is taken from you and given to the Gentiles, literally the nations. 18. For success, listen when the tzaddik recites the unification of God's name, that is Shema Yisrael. 19. Through faith in the sages comes success. Second part of Hatzlacha, success. 1. One who is always happy. Through this, one who is always happy. Through this, he is successful. 2. One must honor someone to whom the hour is fortunate. 3. A successful person, the time is in his hands. A successful person, the time is in his hands. Chapter Pregnancy, Heroyan. 1. Through falsehood, a woman has suffering in pregnancy. 2. It is beneficial segula for a pregnancy that she carry on herself a small piece of wood from the roof over the grave of a tzaddik or a magnet, and to give charity. 3. Small fish, fruitful and multiply. Small fish, brackets, cause one to be, and the brackets, fruitful and multiply. 4. Pregnant and nursing women should not eat garlic and onions. 5. A woman to whom the deeds of the wicked are hateful in her eyes will, as a result of this, become pregnant. A woman to whom the deeds of the wicked are hateful in her eyes will, as a result of this, become pregnant. 6. Accepting exile upon oneself is conducive, a skula, to pregnancy. 7. eating the meat of small animals and drinking olive oil are conducive to pregnancy. Second part of Hiroyon, pregnancy. 1. A woman who cannot conceive should look at the circumcision knife after the circumcision. Chapter Hoira'ah, instruction, in brackets, deciding the halacha, Jewish law, or those that are vested with that power. Deciding Hoira'ah means deciding the halachic Jewish law, or those that are vested with that power. 1. Someone who rules legal decisions and he is submissive to those greater than him. Someone who rules legal, in brackets, Jewish law decisions, and he is submissive to those greater than him. Through this, the Holy One, blessed be He, will guard him that he should not stumble in a matter of a legal decision. 8. A place of instruction, hoira'ah, is conducive to fear, brackets, of God. 3. When food in a person's house becomes non-kosher through the mixing of the forbidden with the permitted, and there is not enough of the permitted to annul the forbidden. This, in brackets, is a sign, end of brackets, he is being shown, in brackets, from above, end of brackets, that the person has caused a blemish in some supernal unification and conjugation. 4. The unification and conjugation is the aspect of the forbidden being annulled in the permitted. The aspect of, in brackets, God returns individuals home, in brackets, God returns individuals home. In brackets, this is understood as getting them married. This is understood as getting them married, an aspect of union in the Kutub Moran, volume 2, 29, end of brackets. He frees those imprisoned in auspicious times. He frees those imprisoned, in brackets, asirim, forbidden, end of brackets, in auspicious times, in brackets, kosherois, permitted, end of brackets. He frees those imprisoned in auspicious times. He frees those imprisoned, asirim, forbidden, in auspicious times, kosherois, shorois, permitted. He frees those imprisoned, asirim, forbidden, in auspicious times, shorois, permitted. Again, the aspect of God returns individuals home. This is understood as getting them married, an aspect of union. He frees those imprisoned, asirim, forbidden, in auspicious times, koi shorois, permitted. 4. When there is peace with the government, through this there is born in Israel children who are instructors. When there is peace with the government, through this there is born in Israel, in brackets, the Jewish people, end of brackets, children who, brackets, develop into, end of brackets, instructors, in brackets, of the halacha. Children who are instructors, brackets, of the halacha. 5. One who is strict with others and lenient with himself and claims he heard things he did not hear. Through this he does not merit to see the beauty of the king. For the klipa, in brackets, evil force, and in brackets, of Edom, which is bad fear, darkens the light of his eyes so that he cannot gaze upon the beauty of the countenance of the king. 6. Through promiscuity one falls into captivity, prison, captivity, or sickness or pain in his feet. Through promiscuity one falls into captivity, or sickness of pain in his feet, or sickness of pain. Through promiscuity one falls into captivity or sickness of pain in his feet. Also, a student who has not reached the level of giving legal, halachic, hoira'ah, instruction, and instructs, falls to this. Also, destructive forces dominate him. This was Sefer Hamidos, Ois Hey, the letter Hey, Hamtakas Din, his boidedis, hirhirim, his nasis, hatzlacha, heroyon, hayra. Hantokas din, sweetening of judgments, his boidedis, seclusion, hirhirim, thoughts, his nasis, superiority, hatzlacha, success, heroyon, pregnancy, hayra, instruction. Nachmo, nachmo,